In July of 2023, friend Dan asked if I'd like to attend a Montana BMW event. The Montana BMW Riders group was sponsoring a 3-day event that would be centered in the tiny burg of Neihart, Montana. About 58 miles south of Great Falls, Montana, lies the tiny town of Neihart. The town limits cover about 2 square miles. With about 43 permanent residents, there isn't much here, but Bob's Bar and Motel would be our base camp, providing rooms, food, and meeting space. The area is a popular winter destination with a showdown ski area nearby. In 1879, in the Little Belt Mountains, silver was discovered on Galena Creek. Then in July 1881, 3 prospectors, Leroy Neihart, John O'Brien, and Richard Harley, discovered silver near today's Neihart. They established the Queen of the Mountains mine. More prospectors flooded in and established another mining camp on Belt Creek, calling it Canyon City. Eventually, it was renamed after James Neihart. In late 1891, a spur of the Montana Central Railway was connected to Neihart. That meant that even less rich ore could be now transported to the much bigger Great Falls smelter. Over the next 100 years, Neihart would experience booms and busts. In 1935, zinc was mined that would eventually support the U.S. World War II efforts. A few of the old buildings still remain in Neihart. I'd sure hate to be locked up in this old jailhouse. The town has erected monuments to its past, like the old fire bell tower, reconstructed now from steel. To get to Neihart, our route from the Flathead Valley took us down to Big Fork, south on Highway 82, past Swan Lake, Seeley Lake, to the Clearwater Junction, where we'd meet up with John from Missoula. Just south of Seeley Lake, we did need to pass through some road construction.
And this is the construction that Dennis and I came through. We waited about 20 minutes, I think, when we had the truck and trailer to go pick up this wonderful 1290 machine. Went all the way to Billings that day.
Only slightly delayed, we rode through the construction zone fairly quickly. But one just had to feel for the folks stuck in the mile-long backup in the opposite direction. As planned, we met up with John from Missoula, and the traveling group was finally whole.
So we have met up with John DeBari, and we're headed for Lincoln.
We stopped in Lincoln, first at High Country Trading Post. If you're looking for a wide variety of jerky, honey, huckleberry treats, or need a gift for that special someone, make sure to check this place out.
So, the High Country shop is always a nice place to stop, but be warned, it's expensive. You got some really good jerky in there, though.
Next, it was back on Montana 200 through Lincoln, with a planned stop at the ranger station.
These short stops have got to stop. Takes a while to get geared up and geared down.
Putting on and taking off the riding gear is sometimes a nuisance, but we do it anyway. Once inside, we chatted with the fish and wildlife person on duty and listened to the story of the preserved brown bear standing in the corner. With many miles of pavement to cover, we were off again. Next up, Flesher Pass and Lake Helena. I really enjoyed Flesher Pass. John had a small debt to pay for a friend that had worked on his motorcycle.
Well, apparently, we are going to drop off a bottle of whiskey. That is, John is going to drop one off at his friend's house on the way to Neihart.
I'll see. I'm Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin had one of the most organized and clean man cave / workshops I have ever seen. A place for everything and everything in its place. We chatted for a while, took in some water, and then it was time to head down the road. John knew of a restaurant that he led us to, but it was closed on arrival. So, after a short discussion, and with me in the lead, we were headed into Townsend. Apparently, the majority of the group didn't approve of the route that I'd picked, and before long they had disappeared from my rearview mirror. Turning around, I headed back to retrace my route, but the group was nowhere to be found. There's something to be said for helmet-to-helmet communication systems, but alas, I was the only believer in such things.
Well, I'm entering Townsend, and I have no idea where the guys are. Apparently, they chose not to follow me after they said they were coming into Townsend. So, we shall see.
Upon entering town, I figured I'd just sit and wait. I had never been to Townsend or Neihart, so I didn't completely know the route. It occurred to me that I might not see the guys until Neihart. Maybe I should look at a map? Thinking I might just be on my own, I began setting up a route to Neihart, Montana. But eventually they came rolling into town. Now it was time to hunt down some grub. Into town we went, but there wasn't much available.
We're gonna have to go somewhere else.
All right, you're leading.
Okay, follow me.
Following Dan.
To where?
After an unfruitful search in town, Dan took the lead. We landed at a small diner called the Full Belly Deli. With a name like that, I wondered if we'd pay the price down the road. I can't say the food was excellent, but it was better than going hungry. And with that, we were off on the final push to Neihart. East on US 12, then north on 89 to Neihart.
Welcome to White Sulphur Springs.
One more gas stop, and it wouldn't be far to our accommodations and a cold beverage. With only 21 miles to go, we were getting close. Finally, we'd reached our destination. Now to find our rooms and settle in.
I'm sorry, I have earplugs in.
Oh, I didn't want to talk to you. I just didn't want you to park there on the grass. You know, I'll move too. But Richard, or Dick French, as you call him Dick, I've been calling him Richard for years, stopping at my place and picking up a Jeep and a side-by-side. And I just parked there so we can park right there, yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
I think you're saying, sir, park right here.
Park right where you're at. Don't park there, 'cause I'm gonna move my motorcycle.
We're good where we're at.
Don't park there. Park right here.
Perfect.
I got it.
I didn't want to have to find out who owned all these motorcycles that was parked on the grass when he gets here. How you guys doing?
Good. Good. How are you?
Good. I'm in the middle of paying, so come on in when you're ready.
That's Phil.
I can't hear you. What you say?
That is Phil.
Okay.
Phil Hagley.
Do we go
He's the
check in
organizer.
someplace?
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to move up.
And with that, we headed into the establishment to check in. After shedding the riding gear, we met up in Bob's Bar. It has an old-timey feel, and Neihart is lucky to have such an establishment. The kitchen provided a few supper choices, and then it was time for a writers' meeting with the event organizer, Phil. We were all given paper maps and highlighters. He then proceeded to verbally call out the road numbers and stops along the way. I tried to follow along with his narration, but captured only a portion of the instructions on my map. John was busy creating a GPX file of the next day's route. But later I had a senior moment and couldn't remember the password to my notebook computer, leaving me unable to download his file to my GPS. Since we'd be riding with him, I figured, stick close to John and I'll be fine. The next morning, we'd head down Highway 89 to Kings Hill and explore the beautiful Little Belt Mountains. Be sure to check back for episode 2.
Okay, now we get to see what the 1290 is made of.
If you like what you're seeing, we'd appreciate it if you'd give us a like and subscribe to the channel and click that bell to get notified when we release a new video.